component of between the public and private, and of course non-governmental agencies. I want to share with you something wonderful that has happened, that is happening right now in San Bernardino, being a place that 1 out of 2 homes are going to be built here in Southern California next few years. But before I share with you the news, the wonderful news, good news, I have to share with you a couple of not so good news, problems that we have here in Southern California. One of those issues is something that I think you're all very familiar with. We're all very familiar with all over the state. Of course, it's shortage of affordable housing. What is happening with us being the second most expensive state in the United States after Hawaii. That's our, one of the problems that we're all familiar with. But there is another problem that unfortunately a lot of people are not familiar with. That is shortage of trained labor in construction industry. Ladies and gentlemen, there is a alarming statistics that for every 4 professionals, trained people leaving our industry, construction industry, only 1 is coming in to our industry. That is alarming. Here we're dealing with affordable housing issues where most families, our children and grandchildren cannot afford to buy homes, and we don't even have the labor force. So almost 2.5 years ago, in one of our board meetings, an idea came to my mind. It was that because of my relationship with San Bernardino Community College, having served on their public radio, TV, KBCR board for almost 12 years, knowing what the college is about, it was a little puzzling for me. Here we are in a place where there's so much building, one of the fastest growing regions in the state, but we don't have a very robust construction industry training and education. So I brought together our staff, Carlos Rodriguez, this is almost 3 years ago, with some of the senior staff from the college, one of whom is here tonight, Richard Galopi, please. Richard, please show us your hand there. And the collaboration between these 2 gentlemen, and of course their staff, Gordon on one side, you know Gordon, and then Diana on the other side, they were able to forge something that is unique in the state of California, perhaps other states as well. That is training for our industry, where we already have 75 companies committed to hire the trainees. Because one of the most problematic situations with training is usually, what are they being trained for? Are they going to have jobs or not? Here, our staff have been able to work together in preparing the students here locally, some of whom are coming from parole background, where we are giving them a second chance in life. As you know, this is historically it's been very difficult for this group of our society to find jobs. So, and we owe this really to, first of all, the 2 leadership boards. The board of trustees of the college, who I think is represented here tonight by Frank Reyes. Trustee Frank Reyes, thank you for your leadership. Please give him a round of applause. And the president, John, was supposed to be here, is on his way. But then also our board. especially with the leadership of Phil Barron, because sometimes when you lead, certain ideas or projects in things may change, directions may change, and so on. But thanks to our current president, Phil Barron, he basically followed the program along and supported Carlos and our staff to really make this thing happen. I am very pleased to inform you that next year we're going to have our first graduating class. This is a funded project through our county workforce board, and we got the good news today. And this is going to be a model for the rest of the state to follow. So I want you, as our political leaders and our board, to give yourself a round of applause for being having the leadership to create this program. Thank you very much. At this time, I have the honor to introduce our president, and again, personally thank him for his leadership for really taking this task on to continue this, to bring this to actual conclusion, and something that we can all be very proud of. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen. Enjoy.
This is a great turnout. Thank you all very much for coming. As Carlos said when he led into this conversation, this is an event we don't like to have much of an agenda or much of a program. But since we had one already, I want to talk about for 10 seconds the partnership idea. And this is the event that we hope fosters those relationships, because the housing crisis that we're in, the labor shortage that we're in, the only way we're going to get through this is by working together. So we appreciate all of our electeds. I almost was going to have Carlos to try to announce each and every one here, but we'd be here till midnight. So thank you all very much for coming. We really sincerely appreciate your support in this event, and looking forward to working with you to help work our way through all these issues. Tonight, I have the honor of introducing an old friend that I first met 20 years ago, and am thankful for California that she's decided to stay involved in government and work with us at the state level. Fiona Miles, California's 34th state treasurer. She was elected on November 6th. 2018 with more than 7,825,000 votes, more than any other candidate for treasurer in the history of California. She's the first woman of color and the first woman certified public accountant elected to this position. The state treasurer's office was created in the California Constitution in 1849, and it provides finance. In case you don't know what the treasurer's office does, it provides financing for schools, roads, housing, recycling, waste management, hospitals, public facilities, and other crucial infrastructure projects. California is the world's 5th largest economy. And Treasurer Ma is the state's primary banker, effectively, if you're looking for connecting the two. Her office processes more than $2 trillion in payments every year. She provides transparency and oversight for the government's investment portfolio and accounts, as well as the state surplus fund. Treasurer Ma oversees an investment portfolio of more than $102 billion. And she came down to spend time with us. So without extending that any further, please help me welcome Treasurer Fiona.
Thank you very much to Phil Burham and his brother Jeff. They've been longtime friends of mine, and they invited me 3 months ago. And so I am here. Thank you all to the BIA Baldy chapter, to Carlos Rodriguez, the incoming president, Jim Perry, and to Ali, who reminds me that we met at BizFed and the Apartment Association. So thank you, and it's great to see so many friends here in the room. I am a little bit under the weather, so Phil allowed me 10 minutes to speak, but I'm only going to take 2. How's that? But as your state banker, I started this job on January 7th. It is a fascinating job. I am a CPA by training. I have a bachelor's in accounting, a master's in taxation, and an MBA in finance. And I tell everybody that my parents are finally happy and proud that I am not wasting my education and my past professional experience. Even though my dad wants me to go back and do accounting and make $1 million, I continue to tell him my calling is in public service. And so finally, as the banker of the 5th largest economy, he is happy, finally. So I thank the people of California for voting for me. I love, love, love my job. I use both sides of my brain every day on the wonky financial side, but I also get involved still in policy issues. My office basically gives out grants, loans, and bonds. So everything that needs money in the state of California, I can get involved in. And one of my big priorities, as Ali said, we have a housing crisis here in California. And our Governor, Gavin Newsom, has made that the priority to build faster here, all types of housing across the state. And as my office is one of the financing arms for housing, we are revamping my CIDLAC and TCAC agencies, trying to make sure that we are streamlining processes, getting the money out faster, and helping many of you who come to our office but find it difficult sometimes because you didn't check the right box or you forgot to submit a certain document. And I'm making sure that my office is more customer friendly to make sure that we meet the mandate of building 2.5 million new homes by 2025. So I want to thank all of you for all you're doing. Now that I am a statewide official, before I was on the San Francisco Board of Supervisors representing 70,000 people, then I was in the Assembly representing 450,000, and then the State Board of Equalization representing, 10 million, but in 22 counties. Now that I'm a statewide officer, I can come more to all parts of the state, and this has really excited me. It's opened my eyes. I always say, if you invite me, I will come. So please invite me. I want to see what's happening in the region. I want to do the tours. I want to meet people who are making things happen, and even the people who are struggling, that need a little bit more help. I also want to talk about a project that is coming to Victorville. How many of you, I got a Victorville contingent here. I know members of the Board of Supervisors are here as well, but Virgin Trains has purchased the line from Victorville to Las Vegas. And for me, it is not just a train to Las Vegas, but it is about economic development here in the region. We are competing for the maintenance yard, which would provide 110 high-quality jobs here in this region. Along with that is all of the housing that is going to be built. And I think this is a great economic stimulus for this region, so I'm fighting very, very hard to make this happen. I know that there's many supporters here, and you all get it as well. But as you know, there's always competing interests around the state. And my job is to really try to equalize and balance all the needs across California. So again, if you need money, grants, bonds, or loans, come see me. If you invite me, I will come. And I look forward to all the exciting things that your region is doing as the fastest growing region in the state. This is very, very exciting, and you all should be very, very happy, excited, and proud to be part of this vibrant region. So thank you very much for inviting me here today.
Thank you, Madam Treasurer. We wanted to just thank you again for your commitment to our region, and it's just been a regular stomping ground for you to come out and just meet with us. We really appreciate that. Want to ask our Chairman of the Board of Supervisors, Kurt Hagman, to join us here, and we have some thanks to you we want to share.
first of all, we want to thank everybody for coming. This is such a great event. I've gone around the room. We know everybody. You guys, the building industry are the ones creating the homes, the jobs, the economy for the fastest growth area in the United States. We thank you and thank Carlos and everyone else for everything you do on a day in, day out to keep this going. But it's so special to have Fiona here, or I call her Fee because not only was she my neighbor for several years, but we were the counterparts of each other on the assembly floor for those 6 years as well. But she is a great partner for all of us, who comes out, the hardest working, at least state official, but probably elected official in the state. I think I've seen you down here 3 or 4 times the last 2 weeks alone. You have a big territory to cover. But we want to thank you for everything you're doing and to focus on bringing the high-speed Virgin Rail into San Bernardino County to get us going and start building the infrastructure and having that backing with you and that connection, that you'll return the call anytime that we give you a call, and for the help out here for us to keep growing, expanding, and doing what we're doing. We want to thank you for that. And so on behalf of all the Board of Supervisors, and Don, you're right here, Janice still here? Come on up, guys, take a picture with me, come on. This is on behalf of all of us, okay? No, stay behind. I got 3 girls in front of me, I can't go wrong.
The treasurer says to go down, you gotta go.
Again,